We're back, bitches. Apologies for not creating a video for the race last week, but Billy Ray had a Viagra accident that prevented us from creating a video last week. Billy Ray, care to explain?
Dude, I thought we agreed to not bring that up. Basically, I figured if one Viagra was good, 6 would be awesome.
And was it?
Well, it was until I accidentally touched my 3-day erection to an electric fence.
His new nickname by the film crew is Sparky the Wonder Pole. Anyway, welcome to week 9 and the race at Circuit Zandvoort. Sparky, can you give us some information about the track?
Does a boner zap itself on a live wire? You betcha. Circuit Zandvoort is a historic and challenging racetrack located on the Dutch coast near Amsterdam, known for its tight corners, dramatic elevation changes, and close proximity to the North Sea. The track is 2.65 miles long and features 14 turns, including the famous banked corners like Tarzanbocht and the high-speed Arie Luyendyk-bocht. Originally opened in 1948, Zandvoort hosted Formula One races for decades before a hiatus that ended with a major renovation and its return to the F1 calendar in 2021.
Same old song, just a different electric boner zap. Sam Buck is once again on the pole. He drove 36 laps during qualifying with a fastest time of 1 minute, 33.767 seconds.
Damn, he is almost as good at sitting on poles as your wife. We are getting close to the end of the season here at GoRacing Sim League, and we have some extremely close battles for the Pro and Amateur Series lead. After 8 races, Sam Buck holds a 1-point lead over Louis Lockshine in the Pro Series, and Kevin Rupert and John Enriquez are currently tied for the Amateur Series lead.
GoRacing Sim League has only raced at this track one other time, with Chris Miller getting the victory in the Pro Series and John Enriquez winning the Amateur Series. And we're off. Like most tracks, the first turn is basically a tight U-turn. I am not sure why they all seem to do that.
Natural selection, it helps weed out the crazies.
Looks like Sam and Lewis are side by side in the turn, but Sam is able to take the lead out of turn 1.
Now they are in turn 3, maybe the trickiest turn on the track. If you take turns 1 and 2 at Martinsville and add the banking of Atlanta Speedway, you get turn 3 at Zandvoort.
Yeah, a high line out of 3 gives you a great run down the Simi straightaway that leads to turn 7 or Scheivlak.
Scheivlak is a very high-speed, downhill, gradual right-hander that is easy to drive both too slow and or too fast. Too slow and you get past going into Mastersbach, too fast and you find yourself in the sand.
Looks like Mikey Fredrickson and Frank Aper are side by side in turn 9.
And they are still side by side going into turn 10. Looks like Frank pulled ahead and now Mikey is door to door with Logan Davis down the straightaway.
Oh, and we have a spinner in turn 11.
Yeah, it looks like Kevin Banks was too fast entering the turn and had 2 choices, hit the car in front or turn left and run off the track. He chose correctly.
And going into our final set of turns, it looks like Sam Buck is going to lead the first lap with Louis Lockshine and Kerry Cantera in hot pursuit.
Yep, overall a fairly clean lap.
On lap 3, Kevin Rupert has a lazy slide in turn 2 and makes contact with the wall.
Looks like he did get some damage from this incident. This could have a big points impact as he is currently battling John Enriquez for the amateur points lead. Yep, you can see he is turning left, but the Porsche continues to turn right.
On lap 4, Kevin has another issue, this time in turn 3.
His day is sliding from a shit sandwich to a full-on crap buffet.
Well, that's one way to put it. On lap 9, in turns 13 and 14, Logan Davis wiggles, gets into the sand and hits the wall hard.
That's a very high-speed turn and it caused major damage to his car. He decided to park it after that incident. Lap 10 and Lane Allen gets his left tires in the dirt in turn 12. This causes him to spin and Matt Cushing gets some damage from the spinning car.
Yep, you can see Matt tries to go to the right, but Lane's car slides just in front of him. Looks like Lane's car is damaged and he is going to need to pit. Let's toss it to Julie from the league's title sponsor, JulieVentures.com, as she is our pit reporter for the day. Julie, will he be able to make it the rest of the way after this stop?
That's a big negative. Looks like he will be about 2 laps short and will need a second pit stop.
Thanks, Julie.
10 laps in, and Sam Buck is starting to pull away from the field. He is almost 3 seconds ahead of Louis Lockshine. And Frank Appa is leading the way for the amateur series with a decent gap between himself and the next amateur driver, Chris Payne.
Oh, and 3 laps later, Frank Appa has an incident entering turn 11.
Yeah, you can see that Mikey got super aggressive and charged inside of the turn, making contact with Frank and causing him to spin. However, you can see that Mikey slows and allows Frank to regain his spot in front of him.
It is the right thing to do, but they both end up losing a spot to Ed Adams during the incident.
Yep, Ed's like, thank you very much, I'll take the spot.
And on lap 13, we have a major issue for Louis Lockshine. Looks like he wiggles in turn 3 and hits the wall hard.
Man, that is not like Louis. He is generally very consistent and rarely has incidents. Looks like his car is officially foobar. It's not driving straight, and oh, he spins again.
That was another hard hit. He is going to have to pit for repairs.
Well, the good news is he should be able to make it to the end after this stop, so he will not need to stop again for fuel. He can get his fast repair and continue.
We're hearing of a possible penalty in the pits. Julie?
Yes, John Enriquez got his lefts over the white line on exit and has been given a pass-through penalty from the stewards.
This is big because Kevin has had issues today, and John had an opportunity to take the amateur points lead.
Guys, we have another penalty in the pits. I am hearing that Chris Payne is being given a penalty for an unsafe pit entrance.
I am assuming he must have been speeding when he passed the line. You can see he was going pretty fast going into the pits.
Yep, and here he comes back in to serve his penalty. Bad luck, dude. Lap 20, and Frank Appa is still in the lead for the amateur series. He now has a huge lead over Ken Scholes after Chris Payne had his issues in the pits.
Talk about a huge lead. Sam Buck now has a 16-second lead over Kerry Cantera for the Pro Series. Lap 22 and more issues for John Enriquez as he gets his lefts in the sand on exit of turn 7 and spins, resulting in contact with the wall, damaging his nose.
Yep, looks like he got his schnoz chopped down to size.
Guys, here we go again, like a drunk hookup that leaves glitter and regret. We have another penalty. This time, Doug Doucette is popped for an unsafe pit exit.
Man, the stewards are being serious about that white line on exit.
It's crazy. If you are inches past the line, they are going to penalize you today.
She said penal.
Oh, behave. Lap 30, and Frank Appa is running in 8th place and still leading the amateur series, while Sam Buck is in 1st place overall and has a 16-second lead on Kerry Cantera.
And just 1 lap later, our amateur leader, Frank Appa, spins in turn 3. The good news is he does not hit anything and maintains his amateur lead, but he did lose 2 spots overall.
And a few laps later, 3rd place car Shane Papala also spins in turn 3.
Kevin, Frank, and Shane are all driving a Porsche, and all 3 lost control in turn 3. That's a tough turn for the Porsches today.
You can see Mike Watts gets by Shane for 3rd, and now Matt Cushion is pressuring him hard for 4th.
Yeah, he's on him like a one-night stand that won't stop texting.
Did the electric fence call you the next day?
Shut your pie hole.
Oh, and Matt Cushion gets loose and spins in turn 9.
Yeah, late in the run, and tires are gone. Those tires are so wore out, they're 1 lap away from filing for retirement and joining OnlyFans.
And for the 4th time this season, pro driver Sam Buck finishes in P1, and he will probably increase his points lead over Louis Lockshine.
I'm not saying he's an alien, but Area 51 called. They want their test driver back. And congratulations to Frank Appa for finishing 9th overall and getting the amateur series win.
All right, let's look at the top 10. Sam Buck gets the victory with Kerry Canterer and Mike Watts rounding out the podium. Shane was able to hold on to fourth, and Ed Adams took advantage of the late spin of Matt Cushion to take fifth. Matt gets sixth, Lewis Lockshine seventh, Mikey Fredrickson eighth, Frank Aper ninth, and Doug Doucette was able to rebound from his penalty and finish 10th.
Okay, let's take a look at the season standings. Sam is able to slightly pull away from Lewis for the Pro Series lead by 4 points. Kerry Quintera has quietly had a really strong season and is in third. Mikey Fredrickson is fourth, and Mike Watts rounds out the top 5 of the Pro Series. Even though he had issues today, Kevin Rupert was able to gain 2 points on John Enriquez and take the Amateur Series lead. Chris Payne is in third, Daniel Sheffer fourth, and the mighty Ken Schultz in fifth.
Next week, GoRacing Sim League heads to sunny California to race at Long Beach. Thanks for watching. I'm Skippy McThrottle.
And I'm Sparky the Wonder Pole. Remember, if we insulted you during the race, you probably deserved it. Peace out.